Hey there, Corey here, and today I'm taking a deep dive into Frank Stone from the upcoming cinematic Choose Your Fate horror game, The Casting of Frank Stone. You may be asking yourself, what do I mean by deep dive? Well, what I mean is I'll be giving you my theory on who I think Frank Stone is based off of evidence I have gathered about the character. Based on the information we know so far about Frank Stone, he is a worker at Cedar Steel with a very twisted imagination. When visiting his workbench, we are able to identify multiple tools that he has used and will potentially use in the casting of Frank Stone, such as the hammer and the welding mask that have both been modified to be perfect for a deranged serial killer like himself. Now, both of these tools are very interesting, but I want to focus more on the mask. Now, this is pure speculation on my part, but is it just me, or does the shape of the welding mask resemble the entity from Dead by Daylight a little bit? That, mixed with the cosmic horror label that this game has been given, really makes me think that Frank Stone could potentially be connected to the entity. Also found on Stone's workshop desk is a sketch of his outfit, but what stands out the most to me is what's written on the sketch. A creature forged to purge the world. Isn't that exactly what the entity is doing by bringing people into its realm? In an interview with IGN, Steve Goss, the director of Supermassive Games, is asked if he would call Frank Stone an origin story, to which he replied, yes, at a certain point, this is very much an origin story. It's very much about characters coming in contact with the truth and the underlying horror of the entity. So this furthers my suspicion that Frank Stone is connected to the entity in some way. Now, another thing that you find in Frank's workshop, as well as in the trailer for the casting of Frank Stone, is hooks. Now, these hooks look very familiar if you are a Dead by Daylight player. They are the same hooks that the entity uses to sacrifice the survivors. Also found in the trailer is a sketch of what appears to be the entity coming from the sky. This begs the question, how has Frank seen this before? Or why has he seen this before is the question. So, if we go off the entity's Wikipedia page, it is known to try and replicate the real world, but it is unable to understand the world's true nature, thus bringing me to my conclusion that the entity is using Frank Stone to get a better grasp on the real world. More specifically, I feel like the entity has manifested Frank Stone into the world to do its bidding and drag people into its realm. After spending a couple of days doing research on Frank Stone, this is the theory that I came up with. So with that being said, I'm very curious as to what y'all's theories on Frank Stone are. Do y'all think he's just a normal person, or do y'all think there's something more going on with him based on everything that Behavior and Supermassive Games have given us so far? Please let me know down in the comments below, and like always, thank you so much for liking and subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one.